Welcome back to Guitar Theory Modules. This is Module 18, and we're on pages 56 and 57. In the last module, you learned how to write and recognize diminished triads. In this module, you're going to learn how to play diminished triad arpeggios on the guitar. In this module, you're going to learn how to play diminished triad arpeggios, and what I'd like you to do is add them to your major and minor arpeggios that you learned in earlier modules. Just like those other arpeggios, you're going to play them from the root to the third to the fifth, and then to the third back down to the root. Notice that the fifths in these arpeggios are labeled as flat 5. In non-classical styles, a diminished fifth is often called flat 5 to differentiate it from the perfect fifth, which is just labeled as a 5. And it doesn't matter if the note itself is a natural sharp or a flat note. So in non-classical styles, a 5 equals perfect fifth and a flat 5 equals a diminished fifth. For this demo, I'm going to start all these arpeggios from the 5th fret, but you should play these all over the fretboard and make sure you name your starting note. Let's start with this diminished arpeggio with the root on the 6th string. This is starting with the 3rd finger on the root, and the fingering is 3, 1, 4, 1, 3. And you can call that root flat 3, flat 5, flat 3, and root, or you can call it 1, flat 3, flat 5, flat 3, and 1. That would be an A diminished arpeggio because I'm starting on the 5th fret, 6th string. I can also play an A diminished arpeggio starting with my 1st finger on the root on the same string. Now our fingering is 1, 4, 2, 4, 1, root, flat 3, flat 5, flat 3, root, or you can call it 1, flat 3, flat 5, flat 3, and root. Diminished arpeggios starting with the root on string 5. This will be a D diminished arpeggio because I'm starting on fret 5, string 5. And the fingering here is 3, 1, 4, 1, and 3. You can call it root, flat 3, flat 5, flat 3, and root, or 1, flat 3, flat 5, flat 3, and 1. I can also play a diminished arpeggio with my 1st finger on the root. Now this is going to be 1, finger 4, finger 2, finger 4, and 1, root, flat 3, flat 5, flat 3, root, or you can call it 1, flat 3, flat 5, flat 3, and 1. We have 3 ways to play a diminished arpeggio with a root on string 4. This is starting with finger 4. We have finger 2, 4, finger 2, 1, 2, and 4, or root, flat 3, flat 5, flat 3, root, or 1, flat 3, flat 5, flat 3, 1. You can start on your 3rd finger. Fingering is 3, 1, 4, 1, 3. That's root, flat 3, flat 5, flat 3, root, or you can call it 1, flat 3, flat 5, flat 3, and 1. I can also play a diminished arpeggio on that string with my 1st finger on the root. Now our fingering is 1, 4, 2, 4, and 1, root, flat 3, flat 5, flat 3, root, or 1, flat 3, flat 5, flat 3, and 1. Diminished arpeggios with the root on string 3. I'm starting this with my second finger. This will be a C diminished arpeggio because my root note is the C on fret 5, string 3. Fingering is 2, 1, 4, 1, 2. Our labels are root, flat 3, flat 5, flat 3, and root. And you can call that 1, flat 3, flat 5, flat 3, and 1. I can also start with my first finger on the root. Fingering here is 1, 4, 3, 4, 1. Our labels are root, flat 3, flat 5, flat 3, root, or 1, flat 3, flat 5, flat 3, and 1. And then diminished arpeggios with the root on string 2. This will be an E diminished arpeggio because my root is on fret 5, string 2. My fingering is 3, 1, 4, 1, 3. Our labels are root, flat 3, flat 5, flat 3, root, or you can call it 1, flat 3, flat 5, flat 3, and 1. And finally, we can start a diminished arpeggio on string 2 with our first finger on the root. This is still an E diminished arpeggio. Fingering is 1, 4, 2, 4, 1. Our labels are root, flat 3, flat 5, flat 3, root, or you can call that 1, flat 3, flat 5, flat 3, and 1. I'm going to show you 3 ways you can practice arpeggios. I showed you 2 of these in earlier modules, and the third way is new. One way you can practice arpeggios is to pick a single arpeggio shape, play it as low as you can on the fretboard, and then move it up and down the neck, naming your root notes as you play. I'm going to take this C diminished arpeggio starting on the 5th string with my 3rd finger. So our fingering is 3, 1, 4, 1, 3. Play up and down the neck, and I name my notes as I go, my root notes. So C diminished, C sharp diminished, D diminished, E flat diminished, or D sharp, E diminished, etc., and work your way up as far as you like. Maybe you work your way up to this G, and then play your way back down. F sharp diminished, naming the notes as you play. F diminished, E diminished, all the way back down to the original C diminished. And do this with all of your major, minor, and diminished patterns. Another way you can practice arpeggios is to play all the arpeggio shapes starting on one particular note. So let's say we pick the note G and we're playing diminished arpeggios. So you can start on this low G with your 3rd finger, or your 1st finger. You could start on this G on string 4, fret 5, starting with your 4th finger, or your 3rd finger, or your 1st finger. You could start on this G on the 8th fret on the 2nd string with your 3rd finger, or your 1st finger, or you can start on this G on the 5th string, 10th fret with your 3rd finger, and then starting on your 1st finger. Do this with your major, minor, and diminished arpeggios starting on 2 or 3 notes a day, and that's really going to boost your fretboard knowledge. The new way to practice arpeggios is to mix up your major, minor, and diminished arpeggios. For this one, we're going to pick one note, and let's just pick the G again. I'll start on the low G and play my major arpeggios, my minor arpeggios, and diminished arpeggios. Find the next G. This one's on string 4. Play my major arpeggios first. Minor. And diminished. Then I can move to this G on the 8th fret on the 2nd string, play my majors first, minors, and diminished. And let's move to one more G. This will be on the 5th string, 10th fret, my majors, my minors, minor, and diminished. Do this on 2 or 3 notes a day, and this will also boost your fretboard knowledge. Your assignment for this module is to play major, minor, and diminished arpeggios in your practice routine. This is going to be a lifelong assignment, so feel free to move right on to Module 19. Don't forget to check out my book, Guitar Theory Modules. You can watch all these videos for free, but if you have a copy of Guitar Theory Modules, you'll have all this information in one place. It's going to be a lot easier to follow along, so I'll leave a link in the description. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. And when you're ready, I will see you in Module 19, where you're going to learn about augmented triads.